Hi, and welcome to another edition of Inside the Village. I'm your host, Angie Catania. It is so great to be back and see our community full of activity once again. As we all know, a much different picture was painted in 2020 as the pandemic turned all of our lives upside down. But in spite of that, Elk Grove remained strong and unified. In today's show, we're going to reflect on the positivity that was on display in the village during these uncertain times. So stay with us for this uplifting show right after we take a short break.
My Elk Grove Village is your tool to stay in touch with the village. The service request system offers a simple way to submit issues, request services, and to comment to the village. If you need service in your area for something like a street light is out, there are water drainage issues, you want to request overnight street parking, make an excessive noise complaint, or for any other general concern. You can make one easily on the mobile app or from a computer. Simply make a request, select the issue, and add the location with a comment. You can also add a photo if needed. The village will respond within 2 business days. You can even track the progress of your requests using the service request system. So stay connected with My Elk Grove Village.
Welcome back, everyone. During the pandemic, personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as masks, became a way of life for everyone. However, if you recall at the onset of the pandemic, there was a shortage of PPE. This was an especially dire situation for the safety of all of our frontline workers here at the village. That is, until very, very generous donations from the community started pouring in. Let's hear more details.
We started receiving donations probably around mid to late March of 2020. We received a variety of personal protective equipment. We received non-perishable food items. What was most in need for us at the time was masks, hand sanitizer, and sanitizing wipes. We had about 30 donors come to us wanting to give us their surplus equipment. It was residents, it was businesses, it was retail establishments all throughout town. We had people coming to our front counter wanting to donate some homemade masks. We had businesses call or email us wanting to donate a large shipment of masks or hand sanitizer. It was both walk-ins and it was by appointment. We probably received about 5,000 latex and vinyl gloves, about 5,000 masks, and probably 50 to 100 containers of hand sanitizer. Most of the wipes that we received were in large bundles, probably 30 or so of those. I think the biggest donations we received were probably of both surgical and N95 masks. All village departments work together to accumulate personal protective equipment. The police department, fire department, public works department, and when we had a surplus of any of those items, we would share with each other. Even in 2021, we've received donations of masks and hand sanitizer, which has been a great benefit to us. If we, the police department, have an overabundance of a certain type of PPE, we check with the other village departments and even other locations in town, like the food pantry. We've been able to donate some of our surplus donations to them. We know that the relationship that we've built with our businesses and our residents over the years paid off in a big way during 2020 and into 2021, and we're extremely grateful for them. We were overwhelmed by the generosity of both the residents and the businesses here in town. When we needed it most, they came through for us, and we couldn't have gotten through this pandemic without their assistance.
Another critical shortage during the pandemic was blood. Many drives were canceled in the area, and the amount of donors significantly decreased. But not here in Elk Grove. Our village blood drive had amazing turnouts. Let's listen now as Michael Sharp with the fire department tells us more.
The village holds about 4 blood drives a year. They're held down in the lower level of the village hall in meeting room A, B, and C. On average, there's about 168 donors per year that participate in the village community blood drive. Each donor can save about 3 lives for each pint of blood that's donated. When you donate, you're giving about a pint of blood unless you want to give plasma. During the COVID pandemic, there was a decrease in blood drives in our area due to restrictions and safety concerns. Many blood drives were decreased, many blood drives were canceled. The village still maintained a high level of attendance to our blood drives and even increased. For example, we had 60 donors attend the blood drive. That saves about 180 lives. That's one of our largest attendance we've had since we've conducted the blood drives. Our residents of Elk Grove Village really stepped up during the pandemic, and we increased our donorship of our blood drive, and more people showed up. I believe the residents really wanted to support and do their part during the pandemic to help others. We really thank and appreciate the community of Elk Grove Village doing a great job, make our community stand out as a community that still support. They still need blood drives during this pandemic and during this time. So we're very grateful for those that have attended, and we continue to hope that you do a good job to attend these.
With many residents out of work during the pandemic, assistance from local food pantries was greatly needed. To help with the demand, village employees stepped up by increasing donations to their annual Pack the Pantry event. Let's find out more about this charitable cause that has also turned into a friendly competition.
This marks the 4th year of the Employee Pack the Pantry event. This all began with the Wellness Committee and volunteers deciding that we wanted to do something for our community that we work in. The Pack the Pantry donated items go to either the Elk Grove Presbyterian Church that houses the Elk Grove Food Pantry. They're located on Taney and Elk Grove Boulevard, and also the Elk Grove Township Food Pantry, which is located at 600 Landmeyer. We chose February and March to have Pack the Pantry event is because people are more giving during the holiday seasons. The pantries seem to see a decline in the months of January through March. That is why we thought that February would be a beginning month that they can definitely donate to the pantries and fill those shelves back up for the families in need. When we contact the food pantries at the beginning of February, we ask them what is the most needed items for the pantry and for the families. And a lot of the items usually are paper products, are canned goods, are ready-made meals, juice boxes, and personal hygiene items. At the beginning of the competition, I send out an email to all employees so they are aware of what is the most needed items at the pantries. Each department gets the cart for a week. It comes on a Wednesday and is picked up on a Wednesday. I bring the cart back up to the village manager's office and I lay out all the items and I count. I put them into either like canned goods, box items, paper products. I tally them, and then the cart moves on to the next department the following day. We have 5 departments. We have the fire department, police department, public works. We have finance and community development that work together. And we also have the village manager's office, which is the village manager's office, Channel 6, and HR, and IT. This is definitely a competition between departments. The police department won the first year, and they actually had a competition amongst each other and the different shifts. And whoever won, that was the shift that was going to win a pizza party. So they are definitely competing even amongst each other in their own departments. The next year, in 2019 and 2020, the fire department won. And I believe they did the same thing with the different shifts, being very competitive against each other in their own department. 2021 Pack the Pantry competition winner is Public Works. And people can't wait to get that trophy. And they are always bugging me to see who is winning, who's on top. I think everybody truly enjoys the competition. I know that people love giving to others. They feel good about themselves. And I think this is a perfect thing for us to do as just a village, and our employees to get involved with each other. In 2018, we collected 5,500 items. In 2019, we collected 3,400 items. In 2020, we collected 5,700 items. In 2021, it's been a little bit different with the pandemic. So people were given a choice to either donate items or they can actually donate money. And this was a little bit different because the Elk Grove Township had emailed over some information to say that they were going to partner with Meijer. And what Meijer does, it's called the Simply Give program. The Simply Give program works like this. If I gave $10 to the program, the Elk Grove Township would in turn go purchase a card from Meijer. And once they purchase this card from Meijer, it will turn my $10 into $30. And what that does is it takes $30 and the township is able to go purchase items that they need and know that they are low in stock. They're able to go purchase the items that are needed for the families that utilize the food pantry. Overall, with our 2,300 food items delivered to the pantry and our $9,000 monetary donations, that brings our grand total to over 11,000 items this year for Pack the Pantry. During the pandemic, families are using the food pantries more than they ever have in the past. The Elk Grove Food Pantry at the Presbyterian Church has doubled, almost tripled in the amount of families that they feed. The Elk Grove Township has increased dramatically. They feed over 320 families in the community. I wasn't too sure how everybody was going to be donating during this whole entire pandemic, and I really was surprised about the generosity from all employees. When the Pack the Pantry event comes around every year, I know that Elk Grove employees would donate as much as they can, and I feel that they are very generous in giving to the families in need in our community. We are a customer service organization, and I feel that we do our best with giving to the community, not only while we're working, but also in donations to people that we don't meet every day, that we don't talk to every day on the phone, but we really genuinely have a big heart for the community that we work in. The Pack the Pantry event is something that I take very personal. I work in the community, I live in the community. I understand, I'm sure like so many other people, that sometimes your paycheck only goes so far. Some families are going paycheck to paycheck. People are in need. People are always in need of something, whether it's food, whether it's money, whether it's clothing. Every community has people that are in need. I am so fortunate to live in a community and work in a community that are so gracious and truly go above and beyond what they actually need to do. It's not necessary, but people tend to give because we're more fortunate than somebody else is. When I see the amount of food donated week to week, I am so proud of our employees, knowing that they gave their time, their money, and even their effort in order to help families in need in our community and our surrounding community. I hope that as long as there is a need in our community, that we are able to help the families in need. I hope that we continue to give, and I hope that we beat our number that we have this year. I hope over 11,000 items. I really hope that we're able to beat that next year. So thank you so much, and I do appreciate everybody's contributions, and I know that the township and the Elk Grove Pantry are super thankful for all of us here at the village.
With so much shut down during the pandemic, there wasn't a whole lot of things for residents to do. Many became creative to stay busy and turned to photography as a hobby. To showcase their talent and the community, the village created a feature on its Facebook page called Snapshot Sunday. Let's check out some of the photos now and learn more about this fun social media feature.
Snapshot Sunday is a social media feature that is shared on the Village Facebook page on Sundays. The feature shares photos submitted by Village residents taken in Elk Grove to be shared with the rest of the community. The Snapshot Sunday feature started when I was organizing some photos after our summer of events in 2019. Our midsummer concert series wrapped up, and I was preparing an album to share on Facebook. I noticed one of the images was a group of girlfriends taking a selfie with an awesome background and the stage and performers behind them. I thought to myself how awesome that picture must have turned out. Later, that idea sort of turned into thinking about other photos that residents might have on their cameras from special places unique to Elk Grove or from our other special events versus any fun stories that could be shared through a photo. And that was how this idea of the Snapshot Sunday social media feature started. The feature really took a huge leap in popularity when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, and we requested photos of positivity, any yard displays, or any show of encouragement to the frontline workers or essential employees and things like that. Our residents responded with an overwhelming amount of activities that they were doing at home, whether they're making masks outside or creating light displays to light up at night on their front yard or tying that green ribbon that was sent through the village through the Green Ribbon campaign. The support was overwhelming with submissions of photos and activities with people keeping themselves busy during a time that was a first for many. A popular theme became Bussy Woods. A lot of individuals were taking walks, enjoying sunset, sunrises, physical activity and things like that, capturing the most beautiful outdoor shots of Bussy Woods, and we're so lucky to have that within our community, and it became a huge theme for our Snapshot Sunday feature. Other common themes of Snapshot Sunday included painted rocks that either children and families worked on and then scattered throughout the village, and other people would be walking by, snapping a photo and submitting it for the feature. Others included sidewalk art, which showcased the talents that exist in the community, whether they're from children or artists, and those were really unique submissions as well. We also received many decorations in windows and doors and displays of support in front yards and light fixtures, whether they be repainting their mailbox or creating something out of extra supplies in their garage. We've had so many unique stories come through as well. One resident actually submitted a story and a series of photos from monarch butterfly eggs that she discovered on her driveway. She preserved them, took care of them, and then later released beautiful monarch butterflies into the community. So that was an incredible story that was just shared through a picture and an email. We've also had some stories that relate back to the pandemic. We had a Boy Scout who created a sign to show hope to frontline and essential workers. He placed it in front of the entrance at the hospital, and 8 months later, he saw that sign was still there. It's a little hard to pick a favorite Snapshot Sunday submission. All of them come in, and I personally receive the emails directly, and I can relate to a photo that tells a story. Some of my favorite ones are mom who submits a photo kayaking with her son at Bussy, because I know that photo means a lot to her. I enjoy the dog supporting our essential frontliners, relaxing in the sun next to a sign. One of my other favorite ones is the EGV Strong lettering on the board that our police department uses to pass along driver messages. So during the COVID, it was like a rainy night and one of our residents captured one of our signs that said EGV Strong. Another favorite one of mine was a special moment after a rainfall came through. I personally was walking out of work and saw the rainbow, but I received a few days later a snapshot from that same day where it rained and we had a beautiful rainbow. There's an Elk Grove EGV Strong mailbox that is on one of the streets, and the rainbow was displayed right behind that. So that was a special capture too that I personally was able to relate to, and I'm sure a lot of other residents who were able to see that rainbow on that same day were able to relate to as well. As a whole, we've received an overwhelming amount of snapshots submitted. I would say it's close to 200 to 275 from the start of this feature. The response of the community has been overwhelming. We have residents liking each other's photos, and the village is able to share an image that is shared with multiple residents, whether they're neighbors, friends, or strangers to each other. We're all related to Elk Grove in some way. So seeing the likes and the engagements and the comments and the familiar names and faces recognizing each other is really special. So it just builds that relationship with the village and the public. Because the community's response has been so great, I have very high hopes that this Snapshot Sunday feature does continue. We hope residents will take pictures of sunrises, sunsets, unique things that they see within our community. It brings me joy when I see these emails coming in. It puts a smile on my face, and when they have a special story, or if it's just a photo that's telling a story, I can really feel that connection with a resident. As the COVID-19 pandemic was full of unprecedented events, the Snapshot Sunday feature brought us back to simpler times, whether that just be a photo of somebody on a walk at Bussy or a nice display in somebody's windows supporting each other. It just was an opportunity to share positivity, and that still existed during these hard times when we were asked to social distance and not necessarily leave our houses unless it was for necessary activities. And whether you were on a walk outside just to get some fresh air, you were seeing these messages across our community, taking photos of them, and then seeing them on your Facebook feed later, and creating that relationship that the village is acknowledging that, you know, everything's gonna be okay, and that there is positivity out there, and the fact that it was coming directly from our community and our residents meant the most. To submit a snapshot is very easy. All you have to do is email snapshots@elkgrove.org, and we just require a first and last name if the resident's willing to share that. We do ask residents are the only one who are submitting photos, and that photo be taken in Elk Grove Village.
And you can see more Snapshot Sunday photos at the end of the show, so be sure to look for them. You might even see some of your friends and neighbors. Well, we've come a long way since the pandemic first began. Mayor Johnson is here now to reflect on the unity displayed by the community during these unprecedented times and how it all started with a simple green ribbon.
Well, when the pandemic hit, obviously it was something unique to all of us. I don't think there's almost anybody around that lived through the great last pandemic back in 1900s. So we were trying to find a way because people didn't really know what to do. I mean, we've never been through this. Lockdowns, change in lives, how we see people, don't see people, how we communicate, how we go to work or don't go to work. So we were truly trying to find something unique. And in particular, the people that are really coming through for us, our first responders, our firemen, our policemen, our public works guys, the people that work at Election Brothers Hospital, the people shelving the grocery stores, people working at essential businesses. So our thought was, you know, because people have talked about, hey, let's all go out at 5 o'clock and yell, yay, thank you. But that was not a message we thought would resonate because some people may hear it, some may not. So our thought was, hey, Like the old tire ribbon around the yellow ribbon around the old oak tree, our thought was tie a green ribbon, which is our color, around your parkway tree. So we decided at that time that we would mail out to every residential location a green ribbon, and then also mail them out to apartments, to condos, because they can put them on trees around their buildings. So staff cut, stuffed in envelopes, addressed and mailed out 14,000 green ribbons. And when you drove around this town, it was so inspiring. It really lifted people's spirits, got them feeling proud about Elk Grove, bringing that unity in the community that we enjoy so much. One of the best things we did as a board was we did the water bill rebate credit. That was a $200 credit that we passed when the COVID really just got started, and that was $200 for everyone. Single-family homes, townhomes, condos, even renters got that credit. And that was obviously not going to cover all the financial hits people took, but every little bit adds up. And so we put that out there to help people a little bit get over the financial hit that we all felt. And it was really well received. People greatly appreciate it. And it's in a great mindset to them, which is, hey, we're here in this together. We're going to help each other out together. And that was a good way to start. Matter of fact, because it's obviously carried on longer than anyone thought, so we did a second round of $200 water bill credits. So that is just phenomenal during these tough times to be able to help out. But we didn't stop there. We also realized the hardest hit businesses during this pandemic were restaurants, hotels, and businesses as a whole. So the board waived all business license fees for every business in Elk Grove. That really sent a positive image and message to our businesses, particularly a restaurant. If a restaurant had a business license, a food license, a liquor license, and maybe a video gaming license, you're talking close to $10,000 in savings to that business. That means a lot to them. And to everyone else, it sent a good message too. So the water bill credit, the 2 rounds, was almost $6 million. We rebate it back to the community. The business license fees were about $500,000. But we were proud that this village was in a good enough position financially to be able to give back at a tough time for everyone. And it really sent a good message to people, because whether you're a business owner here in Elk Grove or you lived here in Elk Grove, you got a little relief from the village, and you know the village did care about you, the village did want to help you. And I think that brought us close together. Again, that unity in the community, which is so important. You know, there's an old saying, you truly know your friends, not during the good times, you know your friends during the tough times. Well, I don't think any community in this world went through a tougher time than obviously the pandemic. It really tests a community's will, it really tests a community's structure, strength, and more importantly, it really tested a community's unity. And when I drove around town, whether I saw the green ribbons or I saw homemade signs people put up in the window, stay safe, stay strong, kids coloring with chalk last summer on the driveways, on the streets in different areas, or the different things was done, from food pantries being filled up, to people doing Snapchats, to people submitting pictures in a positive way. All that stuff we did really made you feel special. It did me. It made my heart feel so proud about Elk Grove, that during the toughest times, neighbors were helping neighbors, businesses were helping residents, residents were helping businesses. We really came together in probably the most unique, strength-building way I've ever seen or been part of. And that was so great. It made me proud. I'm still proud. I've always been proud of Elk Grove, but nothing made me more proud than that. And as tough as this pandemic's been, I think this village is coming out better than it was before. Because I think now everyone realizes how close a community is, and more importantly, how important it is to have a strong community. We always knew Elk Grove was an exceptional community. I think we just lived through why we're an exceptional community.
Elk Grove Village is home to the largest industrial park in the United States. It's a community of makers, companies that invent, design, manufacture. When your neighbors are makers, the supply chain gets shorter and profits grow. It's why businesses thrive here. Elk Grove Village. Makers want it.
It seems fitting to end our show on this swing, a symbol of Elk Grove pride and community spirit. We saw a lot of it in today's show, in spite of a worldwide pandemic. So as we head back into normal times, let's not forget that Elk Grove unity, because that is truly the heart of our community. We hope you enjoyed this inspiring edition of Inside the Village. Join me, Angie Catania, next time for another behind-the-scenes look at our village government. Please stay healthy and safe, and stay strong, Elk Grove.